Hello, this is Don Milne. I'm making this recording entitled How to Save a Story to a New Fold3 Memorial. We're going to start off on the page which says Memorials and then Create a Memorial, and you'll end up with this look right here. So the type of memorial we're creating is a person, and we're going to put a page title and then a gender, and we'll create the memorial. So here we are. It's the basic memorial. There's not a lot of information, obviously, because you've only just put in a name. We've just completed step 1, and now we're going to go to step 2, where we're going to add some sources. You can go over here where it says Find More Records, and it looks like there are some records for Stanley P. Burdinsky. So here we can click this one. Over here we can add to memorial. And this is the one we're just working on, so we can press that. We've added that one. We have this photo here that I had previously uploaded. Add to memorial. We can add this record here. So you can see it's pretty easy to add records that are already in the Fold3 collection. Here's a hospital admission card. So you can see here, I've been adding some of these documents, and now they're appearing here under sources. We can also add sources outside of Fold3. This individual has a Find a Grave memorial, so I'm going to add a reference to that. I'm just going to copy the URL for Find a Grave. I'm going to save it here. Now the Find a Grave shows up here. Now this particular link is super important because if we want the smartphone app to work on Find a Grave, it has to have this link here that's connecting it to the Fold3 story. I have a couple other sources I want to add. I have a source I found related to the division he was in. So I'm going to copy that. So that shows up right here. I'm going to add another source URL. This individual was in the 103rd Infantry Division, so I did some research and on Wikipedia and found some details I included in his story, so I can add this if I want to. For step number 3, we're going to add a story. On the Stories tab here, we do add a story, and you'll notice that it does give you some tools that you can use to write your story here, but we highly recommend that you don't write your story in this tab, because if your computer goes down or if you lose a connection, it's not going to automatically save. And you may not have all the different type of writing tools that you like to use for your story, so always do it in your favorite platform for writing, and then just copy and paste, which is what I'm going to do for the main part. The title I'm just going to type in. Now I'll copy his story into this box here. His story's been copied over. I press save, and he now has a story. So far we've got sources, we have the stories. The next thing we want to do is add facts. It's telling us we have possible records from Find a Grave, so let's review this. There's a match. It's going to import the facts from Find a Grave, which will save us some time. So some of these facts have been added in because we have this linked file from Find a Grave. So that saved us some time. It can be a little bit time consuming to start a story from scratch, so that's why a lot of our writers may want to add to an existing story. But of course, if you want to be able to have more ownership and control over what you're adding, then the best way to do that is to create your own. So one thing we could do is on the facts pages we can update profile photo. So we'll use that one there, and it lets you change it around a little bit to fit in the box. That works right there, so we're going to put that in there. So we now have a profile photo, and if we go to facts and we do add, you'll get this drop down menu of different things you can add. You can import things or you can manually add them. Let's do an import. So these facts are now going to be imported that were from that document that we saved earlier as a source. So this information saved us a lot of time. Let's add again. We're going to add from this source here. It says no facts found. So we tried, but there wasn't anything on there. We've added all this information so far by using the feature of add and then do the import facts. But we can also do manually add facts. When this happens, you'll get a drop-down menu, and then you show the different awards or battles or other information you want to add that you don't already have in the story. So in this case here, we know that he was awarded a Purple Heart, and we're not going to put in a date. We're just going to save and add another. Successfully added. Let's add another award. So this is not an official award of the military, but it's something that's used on Fold3 to recognize that an individual died during a time when the nation was at war, whether or not they died in battle or an accident or even in natural causes. As long as it was during a time of war, they qualify as Gold Star status. So we'll put in Gold Star, press save and add another, and I'm going to exit this for a second to show you something. Right over here, the Gold Star wasn't there before, but now it is, and that's because you did add, manual add facts, award, and here you added the Gold Star. If you had something like a Bronze Star or Silver Star, Distinguished Service Cross, you could add that here. We can scan down here and see if there's some information we think should be added that we didn't pull up from before. We have his service number, we have his rank, we have his death date. I notice that it doesn't tell us what unit he was in. We do have that information, so we can add that. Add, manual added facts, military service, his unit. There's a place for service number here, but there's also one that is listed elsewhere. But we can put that here if we want to have it all in one place. So we could put he was in World War II. We could put he was in the Army. We can put his rank was Private First Class. Again, this was in a different section of the facts, but if we want to have it all in the military service section, we could add it here. And we could put his service number here. So the Facts tab now has more details than it did before. Now, because I set this up as a new memorial, you'll notice that it says who the owner is. The setting says anyone can contribute. So I'm not sure how accurate that is right now. I've heard that private owned memorials can only be added by the person that created them. So we'll have to test that out and see if that actually works. But this should work for stuff that I add because I'm the one that created this memorial. The last thing we can do is have this gallery to add information. The information I wanted to add has already been here, but if I wanted to add something else, I would press that and then do upload. So I do have a copy of his gravestone from Find a Grave, so I can upload that. I'll select from computer. It's going to ask for a caption. I like to put the caption of the source that I found this from. So this is the URL where this image originally came from. So if people wanted to find where that is, it'll be listed right there as a caption. So that's how you use the gallery. So we've created a new memorial. We've shown how you add sources, how to add a story, how to add the facts, and how to add a gallery. Hopefully that'll be helpful as you use Fold3 to create stories for the Stories Behind the Stars project. Thank you.